Marissa, I'll ask you to come and help me find it. Okay? Otherwise, at the moment, I think we're okay.
I'm meeting everyone. Okay, we're meeting people in now.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
From your right. How are you?
We're good.
Feel free to switch on your video camera. And later when we start cooking, right, we'll mute on your microphone so that, you know, we get the best sound from Payal's Kitchen. We are hosting this virtually. So I'm at home with Gabrielle, my colleague, and we are flatmates. So she's helping with the technical side. And then, of course, we have Payal from the Commune Kitchen at her home. And we didn't have to do this together because, unfortunately, we're still at home. And, you know, we're cooking more than ever. So it's really great that we are able to learn something new, a very exciting 2 new dishes with Payal today. And let me give a quick introduction about You're Right. So we are a mobile app into cooking, helping you to cook better. So you don't have to think about what to cook, no ideas. We have both Asian and Western recipes. It's curated, so you can get to find things you like very easily. It's not overwhelming. There are videos as well. So you can download the app on App Store or Google Play Store. You're right. And yeah, you can even tell the app what you have in your fridge and it'll give you recipes ideas. So we've been very busy in the past few weeks doing a few classes with People's Association, and now so happy to be back with Payal from Commune Kitchen. She's the founder, and she's obviously a great chef and person that I really like to interact a lot with. So we are so happy to be back hosting this virtual cooking class together. So please, again, try to mute your microphone during the class so it doesn't disturb the flow. But whenever you want to ask questions, you can unmute or you can type in the chat box and I'll help to facilitate that. Ready? So now I'll hand over to Payal.
Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Welcome to Commune Kitchen in my home this time. For those of you who don't know me, I am the culinary director and one of the founders at Commune Kitchen in Singapore. We are a cooking school. I know a lot of people who are joining today. They have been coming to my classes forever, and I'm really sorry we haven't been able to host you all for the past 3 months, but hopefully in the next 15 to 20 days, we should be able to go back to normal. In the meantime, I will be teaching you how to make lunch today. Are you all ready? Yes? Okay. Yes. All right, let's get started, shall we? Give me a moment.
So we have about 22 people participants in this class today, and we are also broadcasting this on YouTube so more people can learn. But as you're part of it, so please feel free to cook alone. And yeah, we would love to see your end dishes and the whole process.
Okay, fabulous. So we're going to get started with our Thai fish today. We are making poached fish in lime and garlic. It's called Pla Kapong Nyung Manao in Thai. Now I've got grouper fillets, which I'm going to show you. I've got them sitting in my fridge. Right here. I gave you several options to use today. You could have bought any white fish for this recipe: sea bass, barramundi, threadfin, snapper, really anything works. I've got about 600 grams of fillet. Now, before we get started, I want to emphasize that my recipe is actually slightly different from what you would see in Thai restaurants. In Thai restaurants, they do serve this dish. It's usually served in a fish-shaped platter, and they use whole fish. Most of the time, it's Asian sea bass or barramundi, and that's why the Thai name. It literally means steamed barramundi in lime and garlic. I'm using fillets because it's just way easier to cook them and you don't have to dig through bones. But if you do like serving the fish whole, you totally can. Traditionally, it's steamed separately and the sauce is made separately. And once the fish is done steaming, they basically just pour the sauce on and they serve it straight away with steamed rice. But we are going to be poaching it in the sauce today. It's slightly different, but really delicious nevertheless. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to get started by prepping all the ingredients for both the fish and the broccoli, and then we will get started with the cooking, all right? So get ready with some garlic first. I've got about 6 cloves of garlic with me right here. And I am going to start chopping them. If you're cooking along, you may do so now. I'm basically just going to squish my garlic a little with the side of my knife before I start roughly chopping it. Now, if you put a little pressure on your garlic like this, it's just easier to take the peel off. I'm just going to take the root off and see how easily the peel comes off. We're going to do that with all of our fish. If you've got your fish sitting in your fridge, take it out now because you want it not so cold, not too cold.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you need to marinate the fish in advance?
No, there is absolutely no need to do anything to the fish. It needs to be poached directly as it is. Just make sure it's been cleaned. That's all.
I see. Thank you. Okay. And probably remove the water.
Yes. Yeah, make sure it's clean and dry.
Okay.
As long as it's clean and dry, you're good to go.
Great.
Just tidy this up a little, and we'll start chopping the ginger. Now you don't have to chop it finely. If you have already done your prep work, and if you've chopped it finely, that's fine. But you could just slice it, and that works. I actually like sliced ginger. Oh, sorry, sliced garlic, because I like the flavor of garlic. That's why I always just leave it in large chunks. But if you don't like the flavor of garlic that much, then you can chop it further and make it smaller. Okay, next I'm gonna peel my ginger, and I will do so using a small spoon because that's the easiest way to peel ginger. All right.
Kaya, shall we chop a little bit more garlic because we might be using some of those for the broccoli too, right?
Yes, we will do that in a minute. Let's just finish prepping for the fish first. We'll set these ingredients aside and then we'll move on to making or prepping the ingredients for our broccoli as well. I don't want to confuse people by mixing the two. But if you want to peel some more garlic, if you've got the time, yes, do so now. You need 4 cloves of garlic for the broccoli as well. For the ginger, you could chop it fine, or you could slice it like I am. Okay, slice it thinly and then julienne it.
Wow.
Mad skills. Okay, that's done. Ginger done, garlic done. I have got some chili padi here. Now, it's called chili padi in Malay, but a lot of you call this bird's eye chili. All right, it's the same thing. And depending on how hot you want your dish, I actually like to put 3 or 4. If you want it less hot, just put 2 or 3 pieces and that's good enough. I'm just going to chop this roughly as well. Make sure you don't touch the seeds because the seeds have a chemical called capsaicin in them. You touch them and your hands are going to burn. Your fingers are going to burn for the rest of the day. So don't touch the seeds. Just hold it with the crown and use your knife to guide you all along. I've got some spring onion, 3 stalks of spring onion that I've already washed. Here, I'm going to get rid of the root and I will chop my spring onion into bulbs and leaves separately. So those are my bulbs. I'll leave them here with my ginger, garlic, and chili. And the leaves for later. I'm cutting them a bit longer than usual, so into matchsticks. And this will be my garnish for later. So put that in a bowl for later.
The spring onions look so fresh.
It is, yes. I bought everything this morning. It is super fresh. Okay, these here are lime leaves. I hope you were able to get your hands on them. These are really very easily available everywhere in Singapore. And when you buy them, can you face the camera here? Okay, when you buy them, they usually sold in big trays, and you always end up with hundreds of them. Don't throw them away. Take what you want, rinse the rest with cold water, dry them in your salad spinner, and then you can bag them up and put them away in your freezer. I'll show you how. See, this is a whole bag from last week. And when you want to use them, you just pull them out. There's no need to wash them because they're already pre-washed and ready to use. And these are good in the freezer for the next 3 months.
Yeah, really pretty good. And we won't have to throw away.
Yep. So I'm not gonna do anything to them now. I'll just keep them handy, but we will be using them later on. I'll tear them with my hands just before I want to put them in the sauce. All right, these are lemongrass stalks. I've got 3 stalks, and this is the part, the white part that you're going to use. All right, just the bottom half. I am going to cut the top off. I don't need the leaves. I just need this part here. Now there's no need to throw these away. What you can do is bash them with a pestle. And these smell amazing. You can put them in hot water and make lemongrass tea with them with a little bit of honey. So I'll leave these for later, but this is what I'm going to use, the bottom half. Now all you have to do to release the flavor is just bash them gently, or not so gently, with pestle.
Cool.
Okay, so that's ready. All done. And set this aside as well. Okay, now I am actually ready with all my ingredients for the fish. Let's move on to the broccoli now. I have taken about 450 grams or a pound of broccoli right here, and I'll show you how to chop it. If you've already cut it into florets, that's fine. I will do it right in front of you, so you know what I have here. Okay, I'm going to grab a paring knife, and I am going to start cutting it into small florets from the bottom. The same here. So I'm going to hold my broccoli upside down and cut the florets straight into the bowl.
And cut some more.
There we go. Cut it further into smaller pieces. Start from the bottom.
How do you do this?
Start from the bottom.
I tried to do that, but it scared me.
I just want to quickly check with everyone. How's the pace so far? Is everyone flowing all right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't really see anyone today.
I don't know how to.
We've already done the prep, so we're just watching.
I'm basically talking to a camera today. This is very different from last time. And I don't like talking to the camera. It makes me very uncomfortable. Here we go. All right. So small florets, as small as you can. There, about that size. And the stalk, I never throw away the stalk. I actually use it. Even though my cameraman, who's right here, she's my daughter, she doesn't like it. So I end up eating the stalk. So this is done. I'll show you how to use the stalk as well. So nothing goes to waste here. All right, get rid of the bottom, the root, and then start peeling the stalk. Because this peel is quite fibrous, the skin. You get rid of it. Okay, once it's all peeled, you can either use this in stock, make cream of broccoli soup with it, or you could use it in here. So I am going to cut this in half and then half again and just cut it up into stalks like this, and we can use them in our stir fry. All right, here we go. Got stalks, broccoli, all ready to go. Now, the only thing I need to do now is chop some garlic and make the sauce for broccoli. I've got 4 cloves of garlic here, and we are going to chop them finely this time for the broccoli. Okay, so use your knife to help you flatten the garlic a little so the peel comes off more easily. Get rid of the root and then chop it fine.
Yeah, I think I prefer these 2 dishes this time compared to the fried rice and the kung pao chicken. Even though I haven't tasted, do you know why?
Why?
There's no chopping onion involved.
I agree. I agree.
I think those of you remember it was pretty, teary the last time.
It was true. Yeah, you were teary. Yes, you were a little teary. We had a couple of onions, yes, last time.
Yeah.
Well, they're very distinct. Both the dishes are very different. And when people ask me what my favorite dish is, I can never give them a straight answer, because with every cuisine, I have a few preferences, a few dishes that I really, really love. And kung pao chicken and fried rice go so well together. They are one of my favorite meals. And then this as well. This is one of my favorite meals as well. I have multiple photos of these 2 together because I make them so much at home.
You have to absolutely make this after the right at home too. Last time the kung pao chicken and fried rice was delicious.
Did you make it? That's the question.
Who's here?
Yeah, we definitely tried another version of fried rice at home.
Oh, you did. Good. Okay.
We
So
definitely learned the trick of using the Shaoxing wine. That
Mhm.
was really good.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a lemon here. Now, if you were able to find lime, by all means use that. And that's what they do traditionally. Traditionally, Thai lime is used in this dish, in the fish dish that we're making today. But we're going to be using lemon because I couldn't find lime. But that's absolutely fine. Use what you've got in your pantry, okay? I'll squeeze the lemon later on when I'm ready, because the lemon goes in the end anyway. Let's make the sauce now. I'm just going to tidy up quickly over here, and we'll start making the sauce. Wash my hand. Okay. All right.
So, Payal, we have done most of the prep, right, for both dishes?
Yes. We're
So all
just
the
gonna make
toppings are done.
Yeah, all the chopping is done. I also have some chicken stock ready. I have it right here. We'll be using chicken stock for both dishes today. I need about 2 cups of stock for the fish dish and about 3/4 of a cup for the broccoli, and I have it all ready to go.
Okay. Can you just quickly explain to us how can we make chicken stock really quickly with simple ingredients at home?
Okay, so this is what I did this morning. Usually I make my own chicken stock with chicken bones, but I didn't have it in my freezer this morning. I make lots of stock and I put them in little tubs and I leave it in 500 ml tubs in my freezer. I didn't have any today, so I actually used chicken cubes. I'm not endorsing anyone, but this is the brand that I buy. And the stock's really, really good. This is organic chicken stock cube, and this is what I used this morning. I used about 1.5 cubes for 2 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock.
So, Payal, once you have this chicken cube, right, you put 1.5 in water, and then do you heat it up?
Yeah, you just boil it and make sure the cubes have dissolved in water, and you've got chicken stock ready. Okay.
Great.
Every packet of chicken stock that you buy commercially, they usually have instructions at the back of the packet that tell you how much water it needs. This one needs 500 ml of water to each cube. And I think Knorr, Maggi, the most common ones in Asia usually have that. They follow that ratio where you use 1 cube to 500 ml of water. Okay?
Is it halal?
Is it halal? I think the local brands are halal. Most of them. I'm not sure about this particular brand if it's halal or not, but I know Maggi and Knorr, the locally produced ones, are halal.
Where did you buy it?
Carlo, I bought it from Fair Price Finest today. It's available at cold storage as well. There's another brand called Oxo as well at cold storage. That's pretty good too. Any other questions? Okay, all right, let's get started.
Right now, do you need that heated up or just mine's cold at the moment?
Yeah, it's fine. If it's cold, it's fine. We can bring it to a boil later on. It's absolutely fine if it's cold, okay? All right, moving on. Let's make the sauce quickly for the broccoli. It's the stir-fry sauce that we need to make for the broccoli. I've got a few ingredients right here. Now, the only ingredient I don't have in here is Shaoxing or Hua Tiaojiu, Shaoxing cooking wine. We'll be adding this to the broccoli later on. So have this handy by the side of your gas stove, but we will make the stir-fry sauce now, okay? This is dark soy sauce. You need a teaspoon of dark soy. Now this thing flows very fast, so be careful. Okay, make sure you don't add too much, because dark soy sauce is mainly added in Chinese food for color and not so much for flavor. This is flavor. Light soy sauce is what you add for flavor. I have a tablespoon here. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, and this will give my sauce saltiness. Okay, so 2 tablespoons here. I have some sesame oil. I need half a teaspoon of sesame oil. Oops. I've got some white pepper, ground white pepper. I'll put a dash of that, or more than a dash. I love white pepper in my food. I've got some rice vinegar, and I will add a teaspoon and a half of rice vinegar. If you haven't got rice vinegar, you can replace it with some lemon juice. That will work too. Okay, that's done. We need some sugar. I've got my sugar right here. Need about half a teaspoon of sugar as well. Sugar is not for sweetness here. It's mostly to bring out the flavors in your sauces. Give it a good mix. Make sure the sugar dissolves.
So to quickly recap, we have 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce,
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, sorry, 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce for the flavor, dash of pepper, a teaspoon and a half of rice vinegar, and half a teaspoon of sesame oil.
Yes, very good. Well done.
And a teaspoon of sugar for the flavor, to bring out the flavor.
Yes. Yeah. Half a teaspoon of sugar, and I am adding my chicken stock now, which is right here. Give it a mix. I need about 3/4 of a cup of this is half a cup. Okay, and I'll add another 1/4. Okay. This is going to be a very, very tasty sauce. All right, all set. That is going to be my stir-fry sauce for broccoli. Apart from this, you also need a tablespoon of cornstarch or corn flour, as some of you might call it, mixed with a couple of tablespoons of water. Okay, we'll have this ready as well. My cornstarch. And let me grab some more.
How is everyone doing?
Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, all done. Here's my, this is my cornstarch slurry, and this will be used later on for the broccoli as well to thicken the sauce that we've made. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move over now to our stove top so we can start cooking. All right. Okay, let's move over there.
I've been wanting to buy a wok since the last class.
Did you?
Not yet, but I really should.
Okay, so I've got 2 woks here. I'm going to be using my cast iron wok, which I got from Chinatown. I think I talked about this last time as well. I think this is the best investment I've ever made. It was only $15. And it's beautiful. I love the handle, never gets too hot. The wok gets, even when the wok gets really, really hot, the handle is amazing. It's all wood. It's a beautiful wok. I'm gonna get started by heating up my wok, and then I'll add the oil. Now, I think I might have mentioned this last time as well. Always make sure you heat up your pan or your wok first, and then add your oil, because then your chances of disintegrating the oil are lower. A lot of people add the oil first and then they start heating it up. And you know, at times if you use an oil with a lower boiling point, it starts to smoke. Never a good idea to smoke your oil. Always heat up your wok. Once your wok is hot enough and starts to smoke, then you put your oil in. I'm using coconut oil today. Again, I'm not endorsing any brand here. I'm using coconut oil again because it's got a higher smoking point than olive oil. I use olive oil a lot more than I do coconut oil, but whenever I'm doing wok cooking, it's always coconut oil. All right, can you see smoke rising? Okay, now is the time to add your oil. I don't need a lot, just about a tablespoon or 2. It's enough. My oil is already hot, and I will start by adding all the ingredients that I chopped up earlier. So I've got my garlic in there, my ginger. Reduce the heat if your garlic starts to brown too quickly. Your lemongrass, your spring onion bulbs, just the bulbs, not the leaves. The leaves are for garnish, and the chili. And we are going to start frying these and coughing at the same time because these chilies will make you cough.
Payal, yeah, I think let's
A bit fast,
Okay. I'll go
slow down a bit, slow down a bit.
So you add your garlic, ginger, chili, lemongrass, and spring onion bulbs. Okay.
Everybody's laughing at you.
I need to open my window before I die. Okay, so ginger, garlic, chili, spring onion bulbs, and my lemongrass. All right. See how my garlic's started to brown already? This is when I add my 2 cups of chicken stock. Got it right here. All right, bring this to a boil. Increase the heat again, bring it to a boil. Now, one of the ingredients I didn't talk about earlier was this. This is fish sauce, and we will be adding this to the fish dish later on once it's done cooking. So we poach the fish first, and then we're going to add fish sauce for saltiness and some lime juice or lemon juice for sourness. And we'll also add a tiny bit of sugar. Now, one more thing which is not traditional in this dish is turmeric. If you want to give your stock a beautiful yellow hue, you can actually add a little bit of turmeric at this point. So my stock's starting to come to a boil.
So, Payal, what did you say you could add?
Turmeric.
Oh, turmeric. Okay.
Yeah, if you've got turmeric at home, just put a pinch.
Hmm.
Just about a quarter teaspoon will do, but it's not a traditional thing to do. All right, I'm gonna get my fish, which is right here, and I will start sliding my fish in. Now, if you've already chopped up your fish into smaller pieces, that's fine. I'm just using them as they are. I've got grouper fish here.
Yeah, so you can definitely cut the fishes in pieces, or the whole fillet is fine as well.
Yep, I've got 4 people eating today, and I've got 5 fillets. This is more than what I need, but that's okay. We can eat it tomorrow. Let this
Are we keeping
boil again.
medium heat?
It's still on medium to high heat. I'll let it come back to a boil because as soon as you add the fish, the temperature of the liquid goes down again. I still have chili stuck in my throat. I'm sorry. Yeah, the temperature of the fish is going to go. The temperature of the stock is going to go down when you add fish, which is why it wasn't boiling. But you know what? It's coming back to a boil again, which is good. Let it come to a boil.
Sorry, did we add the lime juice already or later?
No, don't add the lime juice or the fish sauce, just the fish for now. We are poaching the fish first.
Can it be made with whole pomfret?
It can be made with any fish of your choice. Yes, you can make it with pomfret. Okay, my fish is starting to change color. I've got my lime leaves right here, which I am going to tear with my hands like this and throw them in as well. Okay, there we go, done. I think we need gas masks.
Yeah, if we have a,
Yeah, go on.
okay, if we have a wok or with a cover, a lid, will you recommend us to use the lid?
Yes, we will be using the lid now. I've got the lid right here. I was just waiting for the stock to come back to a boil again. Now that it's come back to a boil, I'm going to put the lid on. All right. Make sure it's come to a rolling boil and reduce the heat now. And let this poach for about 10 minutes. Now, it really depends on the thickness of your fish. Mine is quite thick, so I'm going to give it a good 10 minutes to poach. But if your slices of fish are thinner, you may need 7 to 8 minutes. If they are thicker, then about 12 minutes. So I'll let you decide how long you want to poach that fish for. You don't want to overcook it, and you certainly don't want to undercook it.
What if you're using a whole fish?
If you're using a whole fish, if your fish can fit in the wok, it'll take longer than fish fillet. Is someone using whole fish right now? Are people using whole fish? Okay, if you are, they will take time. Depending on the thickness of the fish, they can take up to 15 to 17 minutes. Okay? All right, so this is done. We're going to squeeze some lemon while we're waiting. All right, right here, right here. Okay, just going to roll my lemon. This will ensure it gets nice and juicy. Got it? And
Maybe we'll take a quick pause after
Yep.
the, we are making this lemon juice, just to make sure if anyone has questions about, has everyone put their fish in the wok with the lid being at the fish? Is the fish being poached now?
Yes.
Wonderful.
okay, so everyone on task. That's good. Okay, I've got my lemon right here. I will use my handy dandy lemon squeeze to do this. Okay, now I am going to take half a lemon first and taste my stock. If you've got a lime, use a whole lime. Use half of my lemon first. If I need more, I'll take another quarter. I actually like this quite lemony, and this dish is quite lemony in general. So let's try half of a lemon first, and if I need more, I'll do some more later on. So I'll just set this aside for now. Okay. All right. I hope everyone's on task. Now, the only two things you need now towards the end from my previously prepped ingredients are spring onion for my garnish, and I have my lemon juice ready.
So is your lid on the fish still on?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, sorry.
I've reduced the heat already. It's on low now, and my fish is actually poaching in there right now. Okay, so keep that until
When to
your
add
fish
sugar
is.
at the end.
We'll do all that. We'll add the sugar, we'll add the fish sauce, and we'll add the lemon juice or lime juice towards the end. Those are our seasonings, and they will go in towards the end. So I'll just have them ready while my fish is poaching. If you have any questions, you can ask now while we're waiting.
Is the fish boiling?
Yeah, it is. Have a look. There, it's almost ready.
Okay, thank you.
I think this dish will go really well with rice. So
Yes, good idea. If you haven't made rice already, please go ahead and make some steamed rice. I have actually already soaked my rice, so I'm going to switch it on now. Right here. Okay, my rice has been soaking, and I will make it now. This dish goes really well with steamed jasmine rice or cooked jasmine rice. Just quickly get this going because the broccoli is also very fast. Within the next half an hour, you're going to have lunch on the table, which is what I like about these two dishes. They're very quick, very easy to do. There we go. And start. All right. Let's go back and check on our fish. If it's done now, I'll just check mine first. It's been about 7 minutes or so. And I'm just going to gently poke it with a paring knife. The thickest part of the fish, if it shows no resistance, it actually does have a little bit of resistance there. So I'll just leave it in there for another 2 minutes, and then I'll finish it off. And I'll get my tablespoon ready as well in the meantime. Okay, now depending on the saltiness of your chicken stock, you need to decide how much fish sauce you want to add to your dish. In Thailand, they don't use salt in their dishes most of the time. This is what they use instead of salt. Fish sauce is basically anchovies and salt and water. There's nothing else to it. And it's basically fermented salted anchovies, and so it has a ton of salt in it. A lot of times when you buy commercially available chicken stock, it already has salt in it. So make sure you don't add too much of this stuff. Depending on the brand as well, this can be very salty sometimes. So I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons first. I'm going to taste my stock, and if I need more salt, I'll add another tablespoon. I recommend you do that too. So we'll get started with that now. If your fish is still poaching, if it's quite big, if you're using a whole fish, let it continue to poach for another 7 minutes, 12 minutes, however long you want your fish to cook for, and then do these steps. But I'm going to do them now because my fish is ready. Okay?
Paya, quick question. Can we use
Yes.
prawn or sotong instead of fish for this dish?
Can you use prawns?
Why not?
I don't see why not. I actually prefer crab. I have done this dish with crab and it's amazing. You can do it with prawns, yes, but prawns is not my first choice when it comes to this sauce. This sauce is actually nicer with chunky, big and chunky pieces like fish or crab, I would say. Okay?
Thank
But if
you.
you really like prawn, go for it. Why not? Okay, so we're going to start with fish sauce first. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of my fish sauce. Okay, once you've added your fish sauce, make sure you don't use a spoon to stir this. Just use the handle of your wok to do this and bring it back to a boil. So I'm just going to increase the heat slightly before I add my seasonings. I've got a teaspoon here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar for sweetness. Okay, that's done as well. All right. I've got
Payal,
my
I'm sorry, did you say 1 teaspoon first?
1 teaspoon, just 1 teaspoon, that's all.
1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce.
Okay. You finished with 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, and then I added 1 teaspoon of sugar. And now I'm going to take it off the heat and put my lemon juice or your lime juice, whatever you prefer. And the reason why we do this is because when you cook lime juice, it turns bitter, which is why we always take it off the heat. This is about half of a lemon. You can either use lemon or lime juice, like I said earlier. I'm just going to mix it very gently using a spoon and do a taste test.
Paya, why do you recommend to stir the wok like instead of using a spoon to mix after you added the seasoning?
Okay, say that again.
Why do you prefer not to use a spoon to mix the seasoning and just shake the wok a little bit?
It's because I don't want to break my fish apart. It's very delicate. It's white fish. And I don't want to be violent with it, which is why I do this with fish all the time. Once I'm done cooking my fish, I just swirl my wok, which is why I like the handle of my wok, because it makes it so much easier to just swirl my fish around. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's ready. I don't want to add any more lime juice to it because it's perfect right now. My lemon juice, actually. My lemon was quite big, which is why I've added only half of a lemon. When my lemons are smaller, I go up to 3/4 of a lemon, but what I've got now is enough. I've got a good balance of sweet, sour, spicy, and salty in there. Taste it and add things to it as per your own taste buds, your own palate. Some people like it more sweet. You can add more sugar if you want it more sweet. If you like it more sour, by all means, add more lime juice or lemon juice. If you want it more salty, use more fish sauce. And if you want it more spicy, add more chili padi. And finally, my garnish of spring onion leaves. All done. So 1 dish down, guys.
Yay! How's everyone doing? How's your Thai fish with lime and garlic?
Mine is great.
I see
Okay.
someone tasting.
I'm going to go look at the laptop to see how they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see many people here.
Paya, actually you can. So there's the
Yeah,
speaker.
now I can. Now I
Perfect.
can.
So Payal, did you put this rest of the spring onion?
Yes.
Yes, so I've just added the greens
Okay.
because my fish is ready to eat now. It's all done. And you add your spring onions in the end.
Wow, I see Lily's pot. It's really beautiful.
Yep, Lily's done.
Oh, legend.
Looks awesome. That looks beautiful. Well done. Okay, who else is done? Let's see. Who is cooking whole fish today? Is anyone cooking whole fish?
Let's see who else. Someone asked.
Yeah.
I think everyone followed the recipes and got fillets.
Okay.
I added the turmeric.
Ah, so Lily added turmeric. That's why it gives
Yeah.
this very nice yellow color.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you're showing all your, are you showing the fish or?
No, I was asking if anyone's using whole fish.
I have a question, Payal. Can we use a whole pomfret?
Yes, you can use any whole fish you like as long as it's a white fish. Frankly, I think pomfret is an expensive fish to buy, and it's got such a beautiful flavor by itself that you shouldn't mess with it too much. So it's a very expensive fish to buy. I would use a cheaper white fish for this dish because it has so much flavor from the sauce. Traditionally, they use mandarin fish for this recipe, which is actually quite a cheap fish. It's a very cheap fish to buy. It costs less than $7-8 for a whole fish that can feed 4 to 5 people. Okay, but if you've got pomfret handy, use that.
Once the fish is done, how long can it just sit there? Or should
It can
we
sit there
serve?
for the whole day if you want. You can heat it
really?
up. Yeah, you can heat it up when you're ready. I'm just kidding. Don't leave it out at room temperature for the whole day, okay? If you're not gonna eat it now, let it cool down and put it away in the fridge until you're ready to eat it. But I usually, because it's so fast, I usually make it just before I wanna eat it. I'll be serving it soon. As soon as we're done with the broccoli, we're gonna sit down for lunch.
Can you use frozen fish?
We are ready to eat.
Yes, you can use frozen fish. Just make sure you've thawed it in the refrigerator overnight and it's at room temperature before you put it into your sauce. And I say that for all meats, for fish, for prawns, everything. Always make sure your meat and your seafood is at room temperature before you cook it. Because when you put really cold fish or really cold meat on a pan or in a sauce, what happens is you're inducing shock. You're inducing shock, which means it's going to lose a lot of its juice. Okay, a lot of juiciness, and it's going to turn out dry, which is why I always make sure it's sitting outside on the countertop for about half an hour before I use it. If it's frozen, leave it in the fridge overnight, let it thaw properly, and then take it out. Okay.
I have
Any
a
other
question. Did we use the lime leaf? Maybe I missed it.
Okay, say that again.
Lime leaf.
Yes, we did. We used lime leaves after putting the fish in, immediately after putting the fish in. If you've not added them yet,
Oh, damn.
it's okay, add them now. It's
Yeah.
okay, just break them apart, tear them with your
Okay.
fingers very quickly now, and put it in, and then just put the lid on again. It'll be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay. All right. If everyone is on task, we can move on to making the broccoli now. Yes? Show me a thumbs up if you're ready to make the broccoli. All right. Okay then, shall we? Holly, you ready? Okay, all right, let's get on with the broccoli now. Okay, new wok. All right, if you haven't got a wok, use a big frying pan, that works too. Okay, this is a slightly bigger wok. It's also heavier, but that's okay, it still works. It just takes a little longer to heat up. So again, heat up your wok or your frying pan first, and then we're gonna start with some coconut oil again, or any vegetable oil also works. We need oil with a higher smoking point.
Boiling.
Smoking. All right. It's getting hot. I'll start by adding about a couple of tablespoons of oil. That's good. I've got my garlic.
I can see some of you taking pictures. We would love to see them later after the yay.
Okay, I've got my garlic ready to go in. Let's put that in. And at the same time, throw in your broccoli as well. So your broccoli and your garlic can cook at the same time. Okay. See, my heat is on high. Can you focus on the flame? Okay, keep it
The
on
broccoli
medium.
seems to be very dry. That's why when you put them in, it doesn't have too much, doesn't make too much sound.
Yes. My wok is quite thick and heavy, which is why my broccoli isn't making a lot of sound right now. If I were to make the same dish in here, in my regular cast iron wok, it would make a lot more noise. Just gonna stir fry this on high heat, medium to high heat, depending on the thickness of your wok, for a few minutes. And stir it, leave it for a few seconds, and then stir it again. What I'm trying to do here is brown my broccoli a little bit.
Paya, we have a question here about wok and cast iron frying pan. Just on this cast iron frying pan, right? Do you have like a few tips on how to pick one if you want to buy one?
If you want to buy a wok or a cast iron frying pan.
Cast iron frying pan.
Okay, how do I give you a tip on how to buy it? Cast iron frying pans are available.
A heavy one.
A heavy one. There are quite a few shops here. I'd say go to Chinatown, because the fancy shops that we go to, the kitchen shops, they're quite expensive there, but you can get the same cast iron frying pan. If you're looking for something like this, now this isn't used for stir frying. If you're looking at buying something for stir frying, I'd say go for this. This is a cast iron wok, which is completely different from this. Is this what you're asking about?
We do not know.
Which shop in Chinatown?
Okay, this is a cast iron pan, okay? And these are, I got this from Chinatown, from one of the kitchen supply stores, and it's literally half the price compared to
Okay.
regular kitchen stores that you go to.
Can you
This is-
review which Chinatown store?
There is a store called Xiahuat.
Xiahuat.
Yeah, Xiahuat, SIA.
Okay.
HUAT.
HUAT.
It's a kitchen supply store. It's owned
Okay.
by the same company as Tot.
Ah,
Tot is
okay,
the
okay.
retail version. It's the retail store that they own.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go there. They've got lots of different sizes. This is a medium size. They've got bigger ones too. This is used mainly for pan frying and for making steaks and things like that. And these things last forever. So definitely get one of these and get one of these as well.
So Paya, the one you're using now, right, for the broccoli is also cast iron.
This is a cast iron one, but it's a Korean one. I got this from Korea.
Okay.
I ordered it online and it came from Korea. These are quite heavy and they are fully non-stick and they don't need any maintenance. So you don't have to rub them with oil or anything at all, because they don't go rusty. They've got a special coating on them, which prevents them from oxidizing. Okay, here we go. Have a look, guys. My broccoli is starting to brown. Can you see it? Yes?
Yeah, we have another question here. Do we need to poach the broccoli before we stir fry them?
No, I am not blanching my broccoli. I have not blanched my broccoli. This was The florets that you saw me chopping earlier, it's all raw. Okay. This is done already. See, my garlic has started to brown. My broccoli is starting to brown. When this happens with you, I'm gonna bring the sauce over and have it handy. Once your garlic and your broccoli is starting to brown, you're gonna get your Shaoxing wine. Take about a tablespoon of the stuff. Make sure your heat is on very high. And we're going to do the same thing as we did with our fried rice last time, okay?
Yay.
Yeah, we're going to take a tablespoon of my wine and I'm going to pour it along the periphery. And then give it a stir, okay? We had talked about this last time as well. This will give your vegetable, your broccoli, wok hei, which means the breath of the wok. More flavor, lots and lots of flavor. And my sauce is ready. As soon as I'm done with my wok hei part, I am adding my sauce and stock that I've already made. Goes in. My heat is still on very high. Give it a stir. Reduce the heat straight away. I'll reduce the heat now. And cover this for a few minutes. I'll give it about 4 to 5 minutes for the broccoli to cook a little bit. I don't want it mushy. I want it al dente. We'll give it a good 4 to 5 minutes and then we'll add our cornstarch to it, which is already over here. Okay, just give it a good mix. Make sure your cornstarch hasn't settled to the bottom and have it ready. That's that. Let's take questions now, shall we? Okay, how is everyone doing? On task?
So now we close the lid, right? But we don't have
Yes.
lid, this one. Okay.
Yeah, cover it. Yes,
Just
you
cover it. And then later we add the cornstarch.
Yes, we'll add the cornstarch once it's done cooking. Okay.
Okay.
We're waiting for the broccoli to tenderize a little bit. Once it's soft, after about 4 or 5 minutes, we'll open the lid again and we'll add the cornstarch to thicken the sauce and then we'll serve. Okay.
Payal, we have a question. Has the chicken stock been added to the broccoli?
I added the chicken stock to the sauce earlier. I mixed it in with the sauce. So everything, all the sauces together, the sugar has been added just now.
Thank
Okay.
you.
If you haven't done it yet, do it now. Add your chicken stock as well as the sauces together.
And can we steam the broccoli beforehand to speed up the process of stir frying?
Yes, you can. If you want to blanch your broccoli or steam your broccoli ahead of time and just stir fry it very quickly in brown garlic and then add your sauce straight away, you can actually skip this step that I'm doing now. The step where I'm steaming the broccoli for 5 minutes can be skipped completely. I personally prefer to do it this way because I don't like the taste of broccoli very much. I actually don't like the smell at all, which is why I like to brown it a little bit. It takes away the smell from it. And it also gives it a nice flavor from the char that it gets when you're frying it in a wok. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like everyone is on task. Looking good. Any other questions, people? I see a lot of cameras are off today. Last time everyone's camera was on. Why do we have so many shy people today? Come on screen, people.
And yay! So the beginning session today we didn't ask if where is everyone if they're in Singapore or other countries. So maybe yes, maybe you can tell us a little bit where you are now.
Who is not in Singapore? Put your hand up if you're not in Singapore. Come on, don't be shy. It's okay, Amelia.
We're in Singapore.
You are in Singapore. Okay, who's not in Singapore? Hey, we've got all Singaporeans today. Nice. Fabulous. Okay.
All
Shall we get
Singaporeans.
ready? Yes, shall we get the cornstarch now? I have a question. Someone's asking, why do we need to add vinegar? Okay, you add vinegar because vinegar is acid, and acid actually brings out the flavor in food, which is why in a lot of Chinese food, they often add rice vinegar. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, we're going to finish off our broccoli now, okay? Let's do it. Cameraman, over here. All right, let's go back to the stovetop. Yeah, looks done. Like I said, I like my broccoli not too mushy, and this is the perfect texture. All right, I'm going to increase the heat again to medium. I am going to give my cornstarch a good mix and pour it in.
Payal, just quick question on the fish. If we steam the fish first and then add the sauce afterwards, would the taste be different?
It does actually taste different. Two differences. One, the fish is not going to have the flavor of the sauce as much. And second, the sauce is not going to have the flavor of the fish as much. It's because you're poaching the fish in the water. Fish has a lot of collagen in it. The skin of the fish has a lot of collagen in it, and that collagen actually dissolves in the water and thickens the sauce as well. So you're going to have a thick sauce, which is more flavorful. But really, traditionally, these two are always done separately. In fact, they don't even cook the garlic at all. They just put everything together, all the sauces, the condiments that I showed you, the garlic together in a bowl, and they pour that on top of the steamed fish. They steam the fish in a bamboo steamer or in a regular steamer, bring it out to the table, and then they pour the sauce all raw without any cooking involved at all. That's how they serve it in restaurants, and then they have a little light, a tea light underneath the fish. If you've ever been to a Thai restaurant and ordered this dish,
Yes.
you would know that they have tea light candles underneath that they light up.
It's a steamboat.
Yeah, it's like steamboat. So our broccoli is done already. Like I said, the sauce is nice and thick, ready to serve.
Okay.
And you could put this in a plate right now and put some toasted sesame for extra flavor. And you're ready to go. The fish is all done as well. And I've got my rice still going. So I should be able to eat in the next 10 to 12 minutes once my rice is done. I'm ready to take more questions. Let's go back here.
Yes, Payal, we have another, can you explain again why vinegar in the broccoli sauce?
Okay, vinegar or acid, any acid. It doesn't have to be vinegar. Any lemon juice, lime juice, vinegar, any kind of acid is added to food all over the world in different cuisines to bring out the flavor in food. It's a common component that you see, a very common component that you see in cuisines all over the world. There's a book written about it too. So yeah.
Yes, if we want to add vinegar, when should we add it? Otherwise, if we forgot about it, is it okay to skip it?
Yes, if you've forgotten about it, it's okay to skip it. But if you want to add it now, if you've forgotten about it, if you want to add it now, you can do so now. Okay?
But just now when Payal was preparing it, she added to the sauce. So when we added the dark soy sauce, sesame oil, everything the vinegar was added at that point, and then the whole sauce was poured into the wok to the broccoli.
Yeah, yeah. You can do it at the beginning like I did, or you could do it now. If you've forgotten, it's absolutely fine. Do it now; it'll work.
And Payal, for the fish, right? If we use the bamboo steamer, is the fish okay? So if we use a bamboo steamer for anything, like for steaming, would it make a difference?
A bamboo steamer has a lot of flavor. It imparts a lot of flavor to your food. It looks something like this. If you ever decide to do this with whole fish, I would recommend getting one of these. This is a medium-sized one. They also have large ones. And if you're using it for fish, I use this for dumplings because I do a lot of dumplings at home. And if you all know me already, that's what we teach at Commune Kitchen. We are a dumpling school. We teach a lot of Chinese cooking, and we use these a lot. We have about a dozen of these in our kitchen back at the school. Yeah, so put some pandan leaf, lay it with some pandan leaves at the bottom, or use parchment paper, and then put your whole fish in here. What I do is I open up the cavity of the fish, and then I stuff it with some lemongrass. So instead of putting the lemongrass stalks that I put in the sauce today, I would stuff it inside the cavity of the fish. And if you've got some coriander stalks, just the stalks, not the leaves, throw those in the cavity as well. And then steam your fish for as long as it takes. Whole fish is quite thick, and it takes about 15 to 17 minutes to steam fully, okay? I actually have a video of this recipe on my website as well, on communekitchen.com. And I also have the recipe written down, and I've given a little bit of explanation about how to do it using whole fish as well. So if you want to go check that out, you can, okay?
We have a question, Payal, for the corn flour, the starch. So is it okay to skip it?
Yeah, absolutely. Your sauce is going to be a little bit watery if you don't add cornstarch, but if you don't want to add it, that's absolutely fine. You can replace it with other starches. You can use flour mixed with water. You can use potato starch mixed with water if you don't want to add cornstarch, if you want to thicken the sauce. But if you're okay with a watery sauce, just leave it as it is. That works too.
Payal, we're seeing some of the dishes being dished out, like Lily.
Okay. Well done. Now, one last thing I want to show you is this, okay? My chili oil. Which is right here. Okay, so this is chili oil that you can find in this Chinese chili oil that you can find in supermarkets here. And I love adding this to my broccoli. It gives it a little more flavor and a little more heat. If you've got this, or if you've got any kind of chili oil, just put a little bit of it, about half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon on top of your broccoli before you serve it. Give it a good mix and enjoy your broccoli with chili oil. It's amazing. Okay? This is just an optional ingredient.
Great.
Thank you.
Yep. Looks like everyone's done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, show me a thumbs up if you're done. Give me a thumbs up, people, if you're done.
Show us the dishes.
Yeah, give me a quick glimpse as
Oh,
well. if you're
wow.
beautiful, well done.
It's beautiful from Amelia's plate. Oh, Sissy, yours looks good. Oh, wow.
Great, awesome. People are already eating, yay.
Happy cooks, happy eaters, yay.
Well done, people.
Very nice.
And thank you so much for joining us today.
Wow, Daniel's dishes looks great. This
Fabulous.
is very nice. Yes. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Payal, for hosting and cooking, teaching us two great dishes. We can't wait to
You're
try
very welcome.
Enjoy your lunch too. We will edit this video and make it available so that you can watch the replay. We'll keep you posted also on upcoming classes. We're just discussing what we should do for the next one. So if you have any idea, feel free to reach out to us. And once again, if you enjoy it, please feel free to share about Commune Kitchen, about your ripe with your friends. And yeah, we can cook this through together.
Yep, and we've got Commune Kitchen actually has a YouTube channel as well. If you want to go and look for Commune Kitchen on YouTube, you'll see tons of recipes out there, lots of easy recipes too. We have a ton of recipes on our website as well. Including this one, along with the video. Just go on communekitchen.com and type the name of the recipe, or just go on the recipes tab on top of the page, and you should be able to see a whole lot of recipes. Enjoy your lunch, guys, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you, Free.
Khóc xinh.
Bye bye.
Bye.